15th at 5:01 p.m. Video's live. Okay, great. And this is a continuation of the tentative budget public hearing. So let's do a pledge of allegiance first. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Evans here, Cox here.
Abbott here.
Director Rogers present.
Move approval of the agenda, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Just wanted to say this is a continuation of the tentative budget hearing. We are reconvening. The tentative budget hearing was originally called to order on September the 4th, 2025 at 5:01 p.m. We've been in recess. We're recessed until this evening, right now, to allow for further discussion and review. We're now resuming the hearing, continuing our consideration of the district's proposed millage rate and budget for 25-26 fiscal year. Before we get to business, let's see what the public has to say today. Kathy Julian, you're first up.
Seems like I was just standing here.
It does.
Okay, so I just want to read an email that apparently I read it wrong when I read it, if I'm not telling the truth about this information. Hi, I specifically asked to not put anything in email about performance evaluation dates or approvals. One, being they are complete, implying they were incomplete prior to today, even though they were due 2 weeks ago. And two, this is the important part. So there is no record I am going forward without approval from the board. That's stated in this message. I don't know how I can be, I just am blown away. But that could be slander, because I'm not a public official. I'm just a person. So, I mean, it cost me $11, I think, to get these 21 text messages. And that was one of them. This is another one. I can't, it's hard for me to look at them on my phone. I wasn't prepared, I didn't print them out. The other thing is that I'm getting questions about raises. But I know last year they were never approved by the board apparently, according to this text message, so I just hope that this year they are, but I mean, I don't know, that to me is a pretty big deal, that it says, just so there is no record. Number two, so there is no record, I am going forward with it without approval from the board. Pretty specific. I don't know how you misinterpret that. You can't misinterpret that. You're lying.
Chairman, may I?
Sure. Anybody calls you a liar?
She
Thank
called
you.
me a liar.
First of all, I did not specifically call you a liar.
You inferred it.
No, what I say is when people take information out of context,
That's not.
weaponize it to use against us out of context, that is in fact not accurately representing the truth.
Okay, well then
So-
send me the rest of the context.
Would you like for me to respond, or? you
I
want
would
to
like
talk
all the
over?
context. But go ahead and respond.
Well, the board approved the budget. The board approved the percent for raises. How the raises are administered is up to me as the executive director of this mosquito control district. The text that you're referencing, that you've taken completely out of context and are weaponizing, doesn't speak to the contrary of that.
Do you want me to read the rest of the text messages around it? I gave
So only
you
one
a
person has the
green
floor
light.
at a time.
I'm
my
well
clock
aware
is still
of
running.
my text messages read,
Okay.
but thank you for reminding me. Doesn't change the truth. The truth is that the board approved the raises and approved me administering the raises. What you have there is something taken out of context. So you can try to argue that all you want, but there's no validity to it.
Well, it's now, my point
You
is
don't
now
have
on
the
the
floor.
record.
You're not recognized.
I have another 1 minute and 16 seconds, so I'm gonna stand here.
You go at it. Now you're recognized again.
So, I also wanna say that you guys always say that, because I'm like the only person that shows up here at the meetings, most people are, I don't know why, but they're intimidated by you guys. And they don't wanna come, they don't feel like they can do anything by coming here, they feel like they're wasting their time. I don't know, I kinda feel like this is my calling, so, I will be doing this, I will be doing this till I can't walk anymore. There are a lot of people that send me messages and emails every day that obviously you guys are not privy to, saying, I wish I could be doing it, I can't because of my job, or because of this, or because of that, or because I work for somebody whose last name is Rogers. You know, so I'm not a voice in the wilderness, I know that, and I'm not gonna tell you who talks to me and calls me all day and all night and texts me and email me all the time, because I am not a voice in the wilderness. People don't like what's going on here, and it hit me last night like a ton of bricks. You guys talk about saving lives. I'm not saying the mosquito control is not needed. I don't know if it's needed or not. I don't like to speak on the science. I don't have 2 years of Latin or 5 years of Latin or whatever. But it just, I think there's more important things we could be spending money on to keep the public safe. Like traffic enforcement.
Well, that's great, because the budget hearing is next Tuesday at the county, and I'm looking forward to.
I will be there.
I'm looking forward to you
I
telling the
will be
commissioners
there.
to increase the sheriff's department's budget.
I will be there,
That would
because
be
I am a
good.
big believer in that.
It's also interesting how much you look around this room, what the salaries are, and what it costs per minute.
Well, the
We need to go
salaries
and
are-
extend, so, you know,
Okay.
it's interesting
But
how
you know
much
what?
it costs the taxpayers.
I didn't
for
write the
this-
statutes.
For this,
I didn't write
visa
them.
tax that you do.
I didn't write the
All
statutes.
right, so we're moving on. The,
Next one.
next one is Janine Duffy.
No, you have my address and you know me well. So, I'm actually here on behalf of a taxpayer that reached out to me, excuse me, with something that I had pointed out. So he says, will you please ask why, and I know we're not supposed to use names, this is literally someone else's words. Will you please ask why Adrian has 3.5 million allocated towards the campus rebuild, but in the same breath, she has 7 million, that's 7 million of taxpayer dollars allocated towards reserves for future capital. There is no reason to hide 7 million of taxpayer dollars in the budget while also stealing another 3.5 million to rebuild the current facility. Solution, the budget must be reconfigured to take the 3.5 million from the existing 7 million reserves for future capital, thereby lowering the overall tax burden. The commissioners are either blind or don't understand a budget process. Why isn't the 3.5 million coming from the existing reserves? Again, and not my words, another taxpayer. I have not done this research myself. So, just want you to know that no, it isn't just Kathy or I that have issues, many people actually do. And again, it is hard to get here when you work for a living or have children. It's not made easy. I will be at the budget meeting tomorrow also. I just, again, want to reiterate too that where you feel like, you know, you're doing a great job and because nobody's dying of any mosquito-borne illnesses, it's not really a threat. There's not really a threat in the first place. So to me personally, it's an exorbitant amount of waste of money. We have people dying in real places dying. We need to focus on those deaths. And, you know, now we have to worry about if we speak out, we get shot, like Charlie Kirk.
So you've read and you've signed this statement several times, but yet you stand up there and you say hide, stealing, and blind and directed at us? You've been warned.
What are you
I
talking
will-
about? I
I
read
will in
somebody
the
else's
future
words.
Listen very closely to what you have to say. Thank you for your input. All right. Any had meetings and hearings on the budget. Do you have any further comment before I entertain a motion on it?
No?
Nope. Okay, well, I entertain a motion.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I will move that the Pasco County Mosquito Control District Board adopts a tentative millage rate of 0.2091, which is 1.75% less than the rollback, 6.75% less than current rate for the 2025 and 2026 fiscal year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion the Pasco County Mosquito Control Board adopts a tentative budget of $22,557,847.35 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Thank you. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, move to adjourn.
Motion carries on the second, and we move to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you.